Welcome to the Let's Get Vulnerable podcast. It's your host, Dr. Morgan. I am so excited about this episode today. You guys are going to love this. We're talking about timeline pressure, the pressure to be in a relationship, pressure to get married, pressure to have a family. If you have ever said to yourself, oh, I should be in a relationship by now, I should be married by now, I should have a family by now. Why isn't this happening for me? It's happening for all my friends. If you have ever said anything like that or thought it, this episode is for you. I'm going to talk to you about how anxiously attached people respond to timeline pressure, how avoidantly attached people respond, and what keeps you there, how to get out of the timeline pressure space. This is going to be a super helpful episode in helping you heal and move forward in your dating journey. Okay, I want to do something a little bit different. I haven't ever done this before, but I want to actually read you something from a book that I love. It's called Meditations. Hold on. Daily Meditations on Codependency. It's the Language of Letting Go by Melody Beattie. I actually read this a lot with our members inside of the Empowered Secure Love program. And it's just gold. It has these little daily readings. They're about 1 page long per day. And I read one on May 22nd that I went, oh my gosh, I need to share that on the podcast. More people need to hear it. So I just want to share this with you. And it does relate to what we're talking about. So this entry from May 22nd is called Times of Reprogramming. Do not ask for love unless you're ready to be healed enough to give and receive love. Do not ask for joy unless you're ready to feel and release your pain so you can feel joy. Do not ask for success unless you're ready to conquer the behaviors that would sabotage success. Wouldn't it be nice if we could imagine ourselves having or becoming and then immediately receiving what we wanted? We can have and be the good things that we want. All good things are ours for the asking. But first, groundwork, preparation work must be done. A gardener would not plant seeds unless the ground was adequately prepared to nurture and nourish those seeds. The planting would be wasted effort. It would be wasted effort for us to get what we wanted before we were ready. First, we need to become aware of our need or desire, and this may not be easy. Many of us have become accustomed to shutting off the inner voice of our wants, needs, and desires. Sometimes life has to work hard to get our attention. Next, we let go of the old programming, the behaviors and beliefs that interfere with nurturing and nourishing the good. Many of us have strong sabotaging programs learned from childhood that need to be released. We may need to act as if for a while until the belief that we deserve the good becomes real. We combine the reprogramming process with much letting go while we are being changed at the core. There is a naturalness to the process, but it can be intense and take time. Good things are ours for the asking if we are willing to participate in the work of groundbreaking. Work and wait. Ooh, I love that reading so much because it goes along with the core of what I do. I get so sick and tired of all the relationship coaches I see out there and people on social media where they're giving you scripts about, oh, this is what you should say, or here's your game plan to get the guy. And it's like, no, in order to really, truly attract and maintain, okay, the maintaining part is key. Attract and maintain the love that you deserve, the love that you want. In order to do that, we have to do that inner work on ourselves. We have to change at the core. There's no amount of information, book you could read, anything, right? You have to be able to do the work of rewiring your brain, of changing at the core, of letting go of past beliefs, of learning how to embody the securely attached you, to align with your securely attached identity. All of that must come into place in order for you to have the fertile soil, right? I love that metaphor. We want to have the soil that is ready for that healthy relationship when it does start to grow. That we don't sabotage it, that we don't accidentally kill it off, but that we have the soil ready for that kind of love. And I can honestly tell you that there was a long time in my life that I was not ready. You all know my story, having a dysregulated nervous system, disorganized attachment style with both anxious and avoidant attachment strategies, all kinds of unhelpful relationship beliefs, sabotaging patterns. The soil was not fertile, okay, for a really, really long time. And guess what? It would have never changed if I hadn't taken ownership and decided that I need to heal and I need to become the version of me that when the right person does come, I can show up and co create a healthy, loving, securely attached relationship. So I really felt like that reading was just so good and that you all would relate to it. And once again, it does relate to our topic today. So once again, we're talking about timeline pressure. How many of you have felt this? It's that feeling of, oh, I should be married by now. Oh, my friends are in relationships. Oh, I'm turning 37 and I don't have a family yet. There's this pressure, and we can have it come from society. We can have it come from people in our life, whether it's friends, family, external influences, right? We can have all this timeline pressure that's directed at us. And of course, it can also just come from ourselves, or it can come from people we're dating, even. So there's all these places that timeline pressure can come from. And I want to start out talking about the anxious attachment response. So, with anxious attachment, if I'm dealing with timeline pressure, I'm probably feeling something like it's like a game of musical chairs. Everybody else has sat down, and I'm the only one standing. And I'm looking around and I'm going, there is no one for me. And it's that fear that it's never going to happen for me. It's never going to happen for me. It's happening for everybody else. But when is it going to be my turn? Why is it not happening for me? Is there something wrong with me? Am I going to, quote unquote, become too old for this? Am I going to be unlovable, unworthy, undesirable? Am I going to struggle to have children, right? These are a lot of the anxious attachment responses where there's a huge hit to your self-worth here, of devaluing yourself, of seeing yourself negatively, of comparing yourself to everyone else. And all I know is that this can take up so much space in your brain. It can be so harmful. It can really, really hurt your mental health. It can sabotage your dating. Because guess what? If I'm in an anxiously attached place and I have timeline pressure and then I start going on dates, what happens? I am not good at noticing red and yellow flags. I am leading with, oh, I want this to happen now. I don't want to be abandoned. I have fear of being alone forever. I don't want to be too old. So I am just basically putting on these, I want to say the rose-colored glasses, right? And I'm ignoring the red and yellow flags for the sake of just being in a relationship with someone. And how many of us know that that is so damaging? Not a good way to be. Okay, so that's anxious attachment. Let's talk about, what does timeline pressure do for our avoidantly attached folks? With avoidant attachment, what it does is it adds gasoline to the fire that is, I'm not a good partner. So with avoidant attachment, there's a lot of fear about letting the other person down, about not being a good enough partner, about not being able to show up in the way that this person wants me to show up. So with avoidant attachment, if there is this feeling of timeline pressure, it's just leading to more and more distancing and wanting to pull away even more and more, because I'm going, I can't fit in that timeline. That doesn't feel good to me. So if I'm experiencing timeline pressure with avoidant attachment, it could look like really struggling to even get started in relationships, struggling to make it past date number 3, struggling to progress beyond a year, because I have that feeling of, oh, I'm going to let this person down. I'm going to let this person down. They're not going to get what they want with me. It's not going to be on their timeline. So avoidant attachment and timeline pressure also is bad, right? I do think of it as adding gasoline to the fire. It's not helpful. So overall, when I think about timeline pressure, this is a disempowered state. This is a very disempowered state. It is in fear mindset, scarcity mindset. And what we've done is we have an external locus of control, thinking that things are really out of our control. And it's not necessarily victim mindset, but in a way of saying, oh, it's never going to happen for me, and there's nothing I can do. It's too late. I'm XYZ years old, da 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 da, all this pressure. What it does is it completely disempowers us. And in a way, it can almost give us this crazy excuse of, okay, well, it's too late for me, so I don't even have to try. So in a way, it's just a really nasty lie that keeps you comfortable being stuck. How many of you know that? Like, if you're listening, just raise your hand. If you're in your car, getting ready in the morning, wherever you are, just kind of raise your hand a little, where, you're letting timeline pressure, the fear of, oh, it's too late. Oh, it's never going to happen when I want it to. It's not going to happen for me, right? If you're letting that just keep you out of the arena. And when I say the arena, I mean allowing yourself to date, to be vulnerable, to get to know people, to be in this energy of openness for a relationship. If you're allowing fear to keep you out of the arena, the chances are that you've created some kind of logical reason in your brain. But if we were to dig below that logical reason, we would just see that it's fear. It's just fear keeping you stuck, keeping you disempowered. And what happens is, when we are in a disempowered state and we're not making any progress, it actually really impacts our mental health. There's a lot of research on this. Okay. And if you think about humans who are content, and there's research to back this up, when there is a purpose and there is progress towards a goal, that is when we are our most content. But if we feel as though we're stuck, as though nothing that we do makes a difference, we can become depressed, we can become anxious, our mental health really struggles. And this is where there's that term learned helplessness, right? where you can easily get into that place where you go, nothing I do matters. And that is a way to really, really um, not have the life that you want. It's a dark path. How do I know? I've been there. I've had seasons of my life like that where I don't want to get out of bed, where I'm comparing, I can think to the past or just comparing myself to everyone and feeling so stuck, feeling like things were never going to change for me, like everybody else had it easier than me, and there was something wrong with me, and I should just give up, right? I mean, it is not a good path. And having that timeline pressure and that fear is once again something that can kind of lead you to that disempowered, learned helplessness state. I don't want that for you. I hope you don't want that for you. Hope you're listening. You're going, okay, nope, I'm done. I'm done with the timeline pressure. Okay. And I want to help you. So, what do you need instead? What do you need instead of timeline pressure? You need ownership mindset. Ownership mindset. I have to tell you that if you are not where you want to be in your love life, if you are not dating great people, if you're not enjoying your dating life, if you're not in a healthy, loving, secure relationship that you're excited about, that you know is going to last, if you're not there, then you will start to feel 1,000 times better if you just take ownership of it. If you acknowledge it, if you take ownership of it and you commit to making progress to change it. Here's what I know. When people go through the Empowered Secure Love program, that's the easiest example I have because I've had hundreds of people. When they go through, they feel better immediately. They feel better immediately because they've made the commitment. They're making progress. They're committed to change. And then obviously they feel better and better as the transformation takes place. But even just in that, okay, I'm in, I'm ready, let's sign me up, let's go, right? Even in that moment, they immediately feel better because they've made the commitment. That's how we are as humans. We have to say, I'm doing something about this. I'm moving forward. I'm healing. I'm going to date with an open heart. I am going to learn how to show up securely attached. I'm going to learn how to embody secure attachment. If we aren't making progress, we're suffering, right? So I just want to give you so much love wherever you're at. And I want you to know that because I care about you, I'm going to give you this tough love, that wherever you are in your journey, you get to say, I am so worthy of healthy, securely attached love. I am so worthy of an amazing partner that I get to do life with, where the relationship feels easy, where we can navigate anything that comes our way as a team. We get to build the life we want, we get to build the family we want. And I am so committed to doing my part. I am so committed to doing my part, to making progress, right? I'm no longer going to pretend like, oh, it's fine. It'll happen when it happens. I'm no longer going to be in a disempowered state. I'm going to take ownership. I'm going to show up and do my part, right? You deserve that. You deserve to take the ownership. And I want to give you another piece of advice on this. A lot of times with timeline pressure, what happens is we have this belief that we are supposed to control the how things happen, when they happen, that we're supposed to control every detail. And that is simply not the case. That's one of the beautiful things about being a human. If you can learn to surrender to the human experience, is there's actually so much that we don't control. And I know a lot of you are saying, "What, Morgan? You just said take ownership." Yes, it's both. It's both. We do have to take ownership. Remember the very beginning of this episode? Take ownership to create healthy soil for the relationship. Take ownership to say, I'm done. I'm no longer going to have unhealthy, on again, off again, emotionally unavailable, or even toxic or relationships with narcissists. I am done with that, right? You have to take ownership to draw the line in the sand and to rewire your brain. And at the same time, you have to release the how it happens, when it happens, exactly how it's going to unfold. We have to release that. And that is some of the joy of life, is being able to say, I'm going to show up, I'm going to do my part, and I release control of the how. But I have absolute clarity on the outcome. This is something I talk about a lot with my clients, of release the how, clarity on the outcome, take messy action forward. Release the how, clarity on the outcome, take messy action forward. For all my perfectionists out there, you hate that term, messy action. I know. I know, because I was you. I get it. It's hard, right? It's hard when you go, but wait, I have a timeline. We're supposed to date for 3 months, and then we're supposed to be engaged within 2 years, and then we'll be married at 2.5 years, and we'll have a kid by year 3. And you have this whole elaborate timeline, or at least even if it's not written out, you might have it unconsciously. That was me. Even though I hadn't really written it out, I had to let go of this unconscious timeline that I had in my mind. Um, the more securely attached you are, and the more clear you are on the kind of relationship you want, and you know how deserving you are, and when you know that you're doing your part, then you are able to release the how. You are able to release the timeline pressure, because you go, oh, it is all happening. It is all coming towards me. I'm ready to receive it. The soil is fertile. The soil is ready, right? So when you get to that place, the timeline pressure is gone. And I just want to encourage you that no matter where you are in your life, you're never too old. It's never too late. You can always have the kind of relationship you want, the kind of family you want. It may not be the exact way that you thought it would be, but remember, release the how. Release the how. Get clear on your desires. Get clear on your desires and allow yourself to have your desires. So many of us are so cut off from what we want that we don't even know what we want. And there's a lot of people who've just distracted themselves with work or with TV or shopping or vacations or alcohol, all kinds of things. You've just distracted yourself, and you're not even connected energetically to what your real desires are. So when you have the clarity, when you've released the how, when you're in that securely attached place where you've created the fertile soil, the relationships coming, the family's coming, the life that you want is coming, and you can surrender to it, and you know that it's on its way. All right, I hope that this episode was really helpful for you. I love an episode like this because mindset is huge in our journey to finding love. So I know that this might be one you need to replay. This might be one you need to send to a girlfriend, someone who maybe is struggling, or they're just like you and they might experience that timeline pressure. Make sure that you do send it to somebody if you know that they need it. That's the best way to help them out, right? And I know that this show is just packed with information. And the reality is that over 400 episodes, right? And I think it's just so helpful if you can send specific episodes to people. So if you have like a couple favorites, pick a couple favorites and send them. I am so excited about May. I know I've talked about this. This is such an incredible time to join the Empowered Secure Love program. We have the best offer right now with crazy discounts. If you are a helping professional or a mom, do not miss out on this. This is ending in about a week. So don't miss out on this. It is such a good offer. And not only do you get access to everything inside the program, one-on-one coaching, group coaching, the Empower Secure Love course materials, my entire intellectual property is in that course. You get access to our supportive private community group. There's so much in the program. You also get the Boundaries audio course, which is an awesome bonus. People love it. Really helping you do the inner work so that boundaries become effortless. And then you also get 2 copies of my best-selling book because I want you to have a copy, and then you can give a copy to a friend as a gift. I just know that when I read a book with someone, it's like having a little book club, an accountability group. So I want to make sure that you got 2 copies. So all of that is happening in the month of May. You would be insane if you've been thinking about the program to not take advantage of this. Like, this is such a good time. And all you have to do, it takes 5 minutes. You go to the link in the show notes, apply, you fill out the application, and you speak with one of our program advisors. And this is a no pressure call. It's just to answer any questions you have. And if it's the right step, we enroll you in the program. So you have nothing to lose, everything to gain. Take ownership. Take ownership today. Make sure you apply using the link in the show notes. All right, y'all. I am sending you so much love, and I am ready for summer. I just want to say I'm so ready for summer. We had snow. We had 6 inches of snow the other day. So snow in May in Montana. And I'm just so excited about this summer going to go look at wedding venues, hanging out with some awesome people in Bozeman, family time, all the birthdays. It is a busy time. And I want to tell you this, that doing the healing work now is such a good, it's such a good time of year because you don't want to spend the summer just repeating patterns, right? I just think about all the summers I spent wasting time on the wrong people and going on all these trips and all this, crazy dating experiences. When if I had just said, hey, this summer, I'm dating me, I'm doing the healing work, that would have been a much better use of my time. So I just want to encourage you, let this summer be whatever it needs to be for you. Don't feel the pressure of having to go to every single party or go on all these dates if it's not serving you. Do what's right for you. Okay. All right, y'all. Sending you so much love. And of course, as always, I'm wishing you high self-worth and great relationships. I'll talk to you soon.